Hey everyone, welcome to Open Table. I'm Aaron, better known on Board Game Arena as webberaj. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm just about to jump into another all-player commentary game. So for those who might be tuning in for the first time, this game is going to be on training mode, so no elo is won or lost. There's also no timer, but we'll do our best to sort of move the game through at a decent rate. Try to wrap things up within 2 hours is the idea. And we're just going to share strategy openly. So we're going to be talking kind of open hand throughout the game. We're going to be talking about what our own strategies are and also sharing tips and stuff to each other. If we see someone's missed something important or thinks they should have done something else on a turn, they're going to point all that kind of stuff out and just generally discuss cool strategy stuff. So let me just introduce the players playing today. So we've got a really cool lineup today. We've got Sprockitz on from the US. We've got my buddy Lynsfourth from Canada, the guy who originally got me into Terra Mystica. My life's never quite been the same since then, so thanks for that, Alex. And then we've got Ranior as well coming back from the USA. So welcome, guys, and thanks for jumping into this.
Happy to be able to play.
That's
Forward
awesome.
to it.
Yeah, happy to be here.
We are also playing on the Fjords map today, which is going to be kind of fun. I'll jump over to the game board. We can start things up. And a quick note, I think this, Alex, you were saying before we started things up that this is your first time playing Fjords. Is that right?
As far as I remember, yes. I don't think I've ever played on this map,
All
so
right.
it'll be interesting.
This will definitely be interesting. Cool. Well, we'll start the game up, and whoever's in player order number 1, feel free to just break down the setup for us as soon as we jump in.
Oh,
Awesome.
good. The guy that has never played on Fjords.
Yeah. What do you see, Alex? Tell us everything.
I see a new map. Well, not new, but new to me. It's interesting because I'm like, now I have to analyze like where the different hexes are and the colors and stuff because I've never really seen this up close before.
For sure. Rainer, did you want to break things down a little bit for us just to start things off, not to throw Alex on the spot, given that it's his first game, just sort of what you're seeing here?
It's all good. So, the major thing I've paid attention to already thus far is just the pastels. We have only one scoring pastel, meaning the other 3 scoring pastels are all out, which tends to reduce scores. It means there's a bit more economy on the pass. The only pastel that we do have for scoring is big building. And then the slightly awkward thing about that is that there's a big building event in round 3 and round 6, which tends to encourage players to build those buildings in those rounds, but with the pastel being the only way to score on the pass, it's going to be a little tricky scoring-wise. The track is also just a minor bit awkward. You like to build dwellings in round 1 if you're able to, but you often open with a temple, but then temple is in round 2. Big building in 3 is fine. Digging in 4 is okay, especially for some factions that maybe want to try a digging strategy. And then towns in 5 works decently well with that digging event. You can try to carve out your spots for towns and then make your towns in round 5. But then, again, big building in 6 also leaves kind of limited scoring. So even though Spade and Town are kind of some of the biggest scoring events usually, the rest of the track looks a little tough to make like huge points. So overall, it's fun. It's interesting. The final thing, I guess, is just the cult rewards. We have stacked fire cult rewards early. The power in round 1 can actually be pretty useful into round 2. The workers in 3 can be okay. The spades coming in round 5 are going to be pretty iffy, so not as important. But the coins that come off the earth cult in round 4 can often be pretty useful. So definitely some good cult economy in the game too. I guess there's no early spades. That's probably the other big thing to note then. There is a passing spade, but this map tends to be very kind of aggressive early on securing territory and connection hexes. So I think we'll see a good amount of fighting for hexes.
Right.
And spades in particular.
And Alex, you went ahead and just snapped up halflings, which I think to some degree makes sense. I mean, round 4 digs, obviously, halflings can take advantage of that, and also it just sort of being a low scoring track kind of makes sense there.
Yeah, I just think also with the fact that there's 2 big building rounds and the round 4 dig round, halflings can be pretty good for scoring on this track because they can get the dig scoring points in the dig round for their stronghold or build it in round 3 and get some points there too. It's worth almost the same amount in either round, so it's kind of nice they have a bit of diversity in what they can do and when they can do it.
And Sprockets, what are you seeing? Sprockets, what are you seeing here in terms of faction? What are you thinking of putting in?
Can you not hear me?
No, we can hear you now though.
There's only one scoring passing tile. That's going to make it low scoring. The track isn't all that great for scoring either, besides the round 4 dig. So I think with that, and just because I like playing Alchemist, I'm going to put the Alchemist in there.
Nice. That's a good bit of fun. Yeah, it is kind of a funny setup here. Normally in lower scoring setups, I would just sort of like maybe toss Swarmlings in or something like that. It's not a great track for them, although they can do digging okay. But the pass tiles are just, I don't know. There's no trading post bonus. I guess we should also note that landscapes are on here. So round 5 towns with landscapes, is it possible Swarmlings gets 2 towns in round 5? They can do some digs. Maybe they delay their sanctuary until round 3. They open stronghold, a couple dwellings in round 1, temple round 2. I guess that's making kind of an ugly color wheel, to be honest, though. What else would be good here? I think what I'm going to... Oh, no, that's going to be ugly. I was immediately then thinking Fakirs. They either start with a priest or a spade. Again, landscapes are on, so Fakirs are pretty good in general, and if it's a harder game to score in, they'd be able to sort of abuse their internal scoring. But again, then we have sandwiched halflings. Gosh, this is kind of ugly. I don't know. What about witches? They're generically good on this map. They'd either start with a spade or tempt ship. They do have internal scoring. There's no air rewards.
I think witches are pretty good on this map, and they have some options here. I was probably gonna do it if you didn't. So.
Yeah, I think
I was thinking them before I put half, because the map does look really good for witches. There's a lot of really good town spots for them.
Yeah.
And so now that leaves me in a slightly awkward part. Yeah, it's a little tricky. I tend to like to make good color wheels, which I think most people know. The slight trickiness here is that I don't really think it looks like much of a Giants game. It could be an okay Chaos Magician game, though. Chaos are pretty good on this map, but the tough thing is, for Chaos, I think they're going to struggle to... I think they're going to want scoring favors, and I don't know if everybody's going to like Earth 1 Rush, but I think it'll be a bit of a bummer for Chaos if that happens. And then, on top of it, I don't think Chaos are going to hit any of this track well at all. So, getting very few track points is dubious.
Yeah. Chaos tend to like sort of an earlier town, especially given that they're the... Well, I guess the fact that they're the only cult, they'd be the only like main cult faction here, there isn't as much pressure on them like rushing a 2-key town, like if they were playing against cultists or something, or swarmlings or something like that. So, I don't know, is this a weird game where you end up opening like temple 2 dwellings, do like a double temple and delay your sanctuary until late, and then like actually try to town late or something? I don't know.
I think that's the dream, yeah. If you're Chaos Magicians, I think you'd really love to open like temple and a dwelling or two into a round 2 temple into a round 3 sanctuary. I think that's what you really want to do. But will that work? I don't know. But you know what? Screw it. I'm going to throw them in.
All right. So feel free to jump in, just like anyone who here is like the 30 faction, just to sort of like eliminate some of the complexities here. I assume like witches are must just be the best here. They have no color neighbors. They're witches. They have some internal scoring. Like halflings or alchemists are the 30 here.
I was gonna say I think halflings or alchemists for sure. I'm not sure which one though. I think alchemists might. Well, I guess I was gonna say they might do well, but I didn't realize that the 6 coin pass tiles in, so maybe they won't have a huge advantage as far as like income goes.
Alchemists are a little awkward. You're not going to be able to play them quite like the huge. It's going to be hard to like throw 40 victory points into coins and make up those victory points this game. So you have to go for lower coin conversions. But I think they can still be pretty good, but it is tough.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna bid witches a little bit here.
Yeah, I don't see a ton of difference. I don't think anything's gonna get down to in the 10 or 15 range, but maybe I'll be proven wrong. Witches seem to be going down pretty quick.
Yeah, that late town round looks pretty juicy for witches.
This map is just quite good for witches. I think the track is reasonable for witches. I mean, I don't know how far I'm gonna go on them either, but
now
they have like the clearest, mostly safe game that I can see. Everybody else, I'm still just like, I don't know yet.
One thing I have heard other people say, I think this might be my last bit on witches, and I probably would jump over to chaos pretty quickly, but is that witches stronghold is like less good on this map than it is on other maps. Like it's better than base.
Whoa!
As Fire and Ice.
Who says that?
What?
No. Okay. Well, correct me if I'm wrong.
The stronghold's very good here.
Okay.
The reason is you tend to like your starting spots tend to not be easily connected except via I6, and so the stronghold secures you connection. The stronghold also lets you fly up into this upper left, which otherwise you could never use.
Right.
Like you'd have to get to 3 shipping to like get up over there, but the stronghold's quite good on this map.
So if Earth 1 is a consideration, my thought is chaos here. My rough plan would be to take chaos, hope I get a neighbor so I can start E5, give witches the big building bonus if I don't end up on witches, that they would open stronghold, and that you could open temple, Earth 1, probably Fire 1, and get out 2 dwellings on D1, C3, something like that. I mean, it depends a lot on opening placements and stuff like that. But I guess a general question I have here is, like, how much is that a consideration? And, like, do you see chaos here getting Earth 1 blocked, or do you see it being reasonably possible that witches will open stronghold or just take double dig or something like that?
The more I was thinking about it, I think chaos magicians get Earth 1. I think other factions are going to prefer to secure... I think they'll prefer to take like double dig and secure other stuff. I mean, alchemists probably have to rush Earth 1, but halflings and witches I think have flexibility on what they would choose to prioritize.
Right.
So this is about where it gets interesting. So, I mean, I'm just trying to think through what would I do with each faction. You can start with chaos magicians. I think they take the spade. I think they have to take the spade. I mean, and they get to place last, so possibly D3 and then spade to C6. Witches could take the priest or tempt shipping or even 2 workers. If they start with Earth 1, I kind of like tempt shipping, like F8, F5, or D2 start, and then you get your temple and you get 2 dwellings down.
Yeah.
Alchemists probably want the same thing, a shipping start, where they can have 3 dwellings at the end of the round without any power actions. And then if they can get something, they can get even more.
With alchemists, the easiest, like, does that mean that alchemists might start C5, G8, so that they can just...
So I could see C5, G8 from alchemist, with possibly taking... They would prefer the priest to the temp shipping, because then they can get the permanent shipping advance. but they are almost guaranteed to get one of those, which could interestingly leave. Could the stronghold bonus go then to the halflings, or do halflings take a worker and 3 coins, or worker and 3 power to have momentum to get Act 6? I mean, they already have momentum for Act 6 in that they're the only ones starting with 9 power.
And they're in first seat.
And they're in first seat, yeah.
Yeah, and I said something silly earlier about Chaos taking temp ship. I totally forgot that the spade is in the game, so yeah.
Yeah. I think I go Chaos for now for a little bit just because of the color matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a little bit the color matchup. I think it's a little bit the cult matchup too. I'm expecting Chaos to get, at least 20, 24 cult points. And then they're pretty good on this map, but they don't have any color neighbors, so.
And they have the 2 starting fire spots, which is also helpful.
Yeah.
If they can figure out what they want to do to get to 4 by the end of the first round.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're going to achieve. I don't know they'll achieve that.
It may or may not be worth it, but with the spade bonus, if they just want a temple and a dwelling, they could send a priest to fire, which gets them the 4 power, gets them a priest the next round, gets them an extra worker the next round. It probably pays for itself.
It would be good, yeah. I guess I don't know if they get the priest power action, but I guess maybe they 5 power priest it and just suck it up, yeah.
I'm always a little weary to play Chaos because I think they're probably the faction I've played least. So.
Well, a question I have for you, Ranior.
I always perform poorly with them.
A question I have for Ranior, but anyone feel free to jump in on this, is I know, Ranior, you're sort of like a Sanctuary or Bust kind of Chaos player. So I'm curious here if you actually just take the big building. I mean, I know we had talked about sort of like playing the track a bit closer and some options for that, but with the 2 worker bonus sitting there, like, I'm wondering if that's a start that you thought of, just taking that and just building a Sanctuary and...
Oh, I've definitely considered that might be what I would do, but I think there's too many reasons here to attempt to go for the temple, a couple dwellings into another temple, into the Sanctuary. Not least of which is, like, it follows the track, but a second temple here is actually pretty good too, because I think the extra priest production is going to be pretty nice. I did forget that it's landscape, so Alchemist can be a little more culty than I thought. But... I mean, halflings need priests to upgrade their digging. I think there's worlds where witches choose to upgrade their digging. Like, I just don't think there's I think the priest spots on the cults are going to be pretty open all game. So I think producing a lot of priests and trying to contest cults is going to be good for not just Chaos, but everybody. But
right. The other thing we haven't talked about too much here, just as we're sort of finishing up bidding, is like starting spots and who's apt to be like the center of the leech party. Does anyone feel like breaking down where they think people are apt to start here?
I don't know if there's going to be a huge leech party is the other interesting thing, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm honestly sitting here looking at the map trying to figure out where everyone's going to start. I feel like witches are F5, F8 for sure, almost. Unless you want to, like...
So that's what they usually do, but I think they might just start on D2 and expect to be on temp shipping in round 1.
Right.
Because D2 might be next to Halflings and Chaos. I think that's the best, like, leech. Oh, well, and Alchemist could actually also choose. Like, that's the best hope. I think that's the best hope for, like, a crazy leech party at the table. So I don't know. I don't know if witches really wants to be in on that or not. I don't know.
And then halflings presumably dig E7, do they? As opposed to just giving that to Chaos? I don't really know. Like, if you're halflings here and you end up with double dig, do you put a spade on E7?
Probably.
Yeah, I think you'd try to.
So that's just more leech for Chaos. I guess what I'm getting at is I'm sort of, like, also optimistic. I mean, I'm also been bidding on Chaos, but that if they have a D3 start, they might be sort of the center of.
Well, and then there you have 2 avenues to go from E7, where it's just a double dig, and you have another brown hex that you get out of it, right? So it's E7's like a safety hex for halflings if you take that early.
I think life can get difficult for Chaos Magicians. They'll get a lot of leech, but they'll be almost completely surrounded at that point. I mean, I think they'll get out of it through C6 without much problem, but well, they'll have to get to two shipping pretty quickly.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know why I find myself in a chaos mood, but this is what happens in auctions. I talk myself into playing something, and I'm like, no, this is my faction.
I was gonna say, like, one of the things that I also have always like kind of been curious about is if like I tend to stay pretty true to certain evaluations, but like, so you guys earlier in the bidding, we all bid witches until they were like 10 points lower than chaos, and now you guys are bidding chaos within like 5 of witches. Is it just because witches are already too like low, like you just scared, or it's just during the auction your evaluations are changing?
I've been looking at the map a lot more and thinking that chaos might actually be able to have a pretty good game here based on the way that the hexes are laid out, but like I'm just kind of starting to think about what I want to do with them, and it looks like it's a pretty good idea to.
That's fair. Chaos are pretty good on this map. I'm just less convinced that the scoring opportunities on the track or pass tiles are there. But
I think you could win cults pretty easily with them though, except for the fact that alchemists might be able to throw a couple priests in there and maybe take one from you. Or
everybody's gonna contest. Everybody's gonna try to, yeah. I mean, like the thing is, I think all these factions are probably gonna try the let's try to win one cult game, and so Chaos will close out some. But I agree, Chaos are gonna have like 24 cult points, but I would expect witches and alchemists to beat them on network. Like, whatever. I'm done with Chaos. Is the point, as you guys maybe can figure out. I'm not touching them anymore. I think they're already too low compared to alchemists and halflings. But we'll see. I could be wrong. But
to answer your question, Ranior, for me, there's a couple of things. First of all, like I find it takes me a while in an auction, which is why I'm sort of a slow bidder, to really figure out like what the evaluation is that I like between factions. So it can change over time, and I tend to just bid on whoever I think is best for the longest, because it sort of just buys me time. So that's part of it. Is my evaluations do change throughout the auction period. But if I'm playing a training game or a blitz game or just not in a super competitive mood, I will just overbid factions that I just want to play. And for some reason, I'm just like not in a super alchemist's mood. So that's part of it as well. My evaluations would probably change if this was like an arena game and I cared about it or something.
I do think Chaos have one of the more probably like fun games ahead of them, and it's gonna be like it should clearly like work out. I think there's little downside of like having any disaster type stuff really happen for Chaos, but we'll see.
Rafi is pointing out in chat, halflings with round 4 spades at 30 points. I was just thinking the same thing. It's true.
It could be wrong, but so the big thing is like on this map, halflings have slight issues in terms of like actually rapidly getting out a lot of dwellings. So it's a lot harder than base map to like build up those 20 worker stockpiles. And even then, I've long argued like round 4 spades are great for halflings to score points, but it's only one thing of points. Like you still need a rest of a cohesive game plan in order to win, and I don't see halflings having great game plan here. I mean, they'll hit 2 towns in round 5 as well, presumably, but I don't think halflings are going to have great cults. I don't think they're going to have great network. I don't think they score much on the pass. So sure, they advance dig and they score 40 points overall between advancing dig and digging, but there's very few other points would be my problem, but we'll see. I did forget the driller round 6, that's true.
Driller. Yeah. Alchemists can make halflings lives tricky.
That driller though.
The driller though.
I think it's a game changer.
Who are you thinking, Alex? Bidding.
I'm trying to figure out if alchemists are like that much better than halflings here. I think they're pretty even, honestly, looking at it. But I don't know. I also don't know. Like I've never really played. I don't play those factions a lot as it is, but on this map I haven't played anything, so I'm trying to figure out if I want to go for chaos missions again because I'm more comfortable on them, or if I want to try bidding another point on alchemists because I have played them a little bit and I do like playing them.
Right.
And I think that they might have a pretty good game here because I see a few spots where you could like ship around pretty early with them and like kind of expand. So maybe I'll bid alchemist for that reason.
Shipping alchemist is very like one of the alchemist things they often try to do on this map is to get to 3 shipping early. You get to just a lot of black hexes quickly.
Well, that's what I was looking at too. It just seems like the good thing to do with them, so it might be fun.
Yeah, there's been some interesting double temple opens, for sure, with alchemists. It obviously doesn't hit the track here super well, but you guys are fighting over alchemists a good bit. Sprockets, you seem to really be in the mood for playing them, eh?
I think Sprocket's hunches are correct. I also would have kept bidding alchemist a good bit over halflings.
Sprockets, can you still hear us? Just want to make sure you're still in the channel.
I could hear you. You probably couldn't hear me.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, for some reason I have to open the Discord window. The voice seems to go away after a while when I'm not on the page. But yeah, my thinking for alchemist versus halfling, generally on this map I find that alchemists have better momentum to secure the key spots. I have won as halflings with alchemists in a digging game, but it was tight, and mainly it happened because the alchemist let me escape. So yeah, halflings. Even assuming to get Act 6 this round, I don't see an easy way to really expand enough to make round 4 worth it, and I don't see a lot of points outside of that round 4 digging, so that makes me hesitant on halflings. But at some point, they will become the best value, and I don't think that point's very far away.
Right.
Yeah, I think I agree that we're getting pretty close here. Oh, there we are. If I would have been bid off witches, I was going to halflings.
Right.
But I'm pretty happy to have witches here after the rest of you guys got bid down. Like chaos at 17, I'll easily take witches compared to that. Alchemist at 23, also very happy to have witches. It's halflings that I'm a little concerned about.
Right.
Yeah, I was debating between bidding alchemists again and going on halflings there, but I sort of just wanted to play alchemist this game, so I don't play them a lot, so either one of the factions, so it'd be nice to play around with them a bit.
Yeah, that's fair. It does look like we're gonna have a mega leech party, so that also changes some of my thoughts on a few things a little bit, but we'll see. Oh, Ghostly, just responding to chat here. Like, me stop stressing Weber out. That's really not how that's not how our relationship works.
How are you stressing me out? I didn't catch that.
Probably by saying that I don't like, probably by knocking your auction evaluation compared to like,
Yeah, fair enough. Well, two points to that. I'm used to Ranior stressing me out because that's just, exactly. It's our relationship. But also, B, I don't entirely trust Ranior's evaluation of witches all the time, and that I wouldn't trust my evaluation of cultists or engineers. I always see the good in them. So I think you're always have to evaluate witches slightly higher. You have a bias towards witches is what I'm getting at.
I do have a bias toward witches.
I mean, you're probably right. I admitted that I just wanted to play chaos here. Are they only 5 points worse than witches? It seems unlikely.
Yeah. But hey, we'll see. I
Alright, so this is what I was struggling with as halflings. If I took halflings, where do I put that second dwelling? And halflings, I still am not at all convinced on where to go here.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree. I also did not know where the other one goes.
Take.
I mean, are the options here like E9 or H4 and just be by yourself and dig up a storm?
I think H4 is the main.
H4?
Consider
Yeah,
H4.
E9, H4, C4.
Is C4 interesting?
C4, yeah,
C4
is interesting.
There's going to be a contested hex between alchemists and halflings.
Sure.
Yes.
And if halflings don't start there, they're not going to get it.
Probably not. I agree.
Probably not.
Also,
they forego connection and take like anything else is going to take quite a while to get a neighbor. B2, you could go, but you're not going to get. You might get a neighbor in round 3 if witches go stronghold, but probably not until round 4. They probably secure I6 first and then jump over there later. If you're going to play a digging game anyway, maybe you don't care too much about easy town spots and you expect to get them later. I think I'll go E9 and just get a little more leech that way.
All right, well,
that's fair.
That's kind of why I decided to continue going alchemists too, because I was like, I know I'd go E6, but I don't really know where else I would put my dwelling as halfling.
thanks, Ghostlight. Nice maple leaf mug. Yeah, most of the mugs in our house we buy exclusively from tacky gift stores. So I have like 5 or 6 maple leaf mugs and then 5 or 6 Quebec mugs to sort of balance things out between the English and the French.
Nice. Ooh, takes the priest right off the bat.
Interesting.
This priest opening can get me the momentum I need for some hexes.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I do. I think that's it's, and you don't really have the ability to double dig anywhere. So like, I'm just gonna get double dig this round. So yeah, okay.
Now, why did you build their first move, Ranior? As opposed to just upgrading to a trading post somewhere for extra leech and where you eventually want a temple or a stronghold.
Because I'm not. I mean, the answer is I'm not building a trading post this round. So
you're just going D-rush. Gotcha.
Yeah, if I'm gonna have a guarantee, like I wanted to just dwelling rush. I wasn't sure I was gonna get double dig. Although I thought, like, I had hopes. I thought alchemist might take worker power, in which case nobody really has a lot of power. And then if halflings and alchemist upgrade next to me, which seemed pretty guaranteed, my first action of the game could have just been double dig. So I thought I was getting double dig. I thought I was getting a dwelling rush. It's kind of what I was bidding on. But I mean, the backup was also like obviously super safe of just settling for a temple and some dwellings. But
right. Oh yeah, that looks pretty nice.
But yeah, I didn't necessarily see the stronghold alchemist in round 1, but I actually think it's a reasonably clever way to get around the.
I thought it'd be a good way to just constantly have a good income, as far as points go.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a good way to get around the big issue I said of like there's not that much scoring here, and so you need to keep your coin conversions low. And one of the best way to do that is make a lot of coins early. So plus now that I'm dwelling rushing, I
Yeah.
mean, there's no Earth 1 pressure. I'm never taking Earth 1 this game.
Mhm.
Like, or maybe I will, but like the only Earth 1 I'll be taking is like in round 4 or 5 or something, right? Like I'm not building it early.
So, Linz, what's the play here? I assume you're 5 power,
Oh,
doing a 5 power priest and going I8 A6. It seems to be the.
yeah, that's pretty much the plan. I wanted to try and get my stronghold and a couple extra dwellings out because I have a bunch of workers and some coins to do stuff with next round. So I think that's the play.
That seems great.
Sure.
And just building temple next round, and then you probably could even just sanctuary in 3 right away to just lock up Earth 1, Water 1. Stuff. Like I like that plan for Alchemists.
It's a good way to score off of the 1 passing tile too when I have a chance to. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Part of the reason I'm dwelling rushing here, just for the viewers, is that I think dwelling rush into building your temple, like the track helps support it. I think it's just very good economically, and then it also potentially does set me up for dig advance switches. I'll have a lot of workers this way. Finding the coins to be able to advance digs will be not guaranteed, but
Alchemists take 7 coins in the first round. So what was the motivation behind that?
I took them because they came to me, and I honestly thought you were going to get them because I thought that Chaos was going to upgrade to a temple. But then you didn't get the power to take them, so I just took them because now I pretty much just have extra coins to potentially have enough coins to build my sanctuaries round 3, kind of like Ranior was talking about.
Well, I mean, you always have coins with Alchemist as our point, though, right?
Right, but now I'll have enough to do that and extra stuff if I need to in round 3. I've kind of learned from playing last month or so that the more coins I have, the better things go because I never have to worry about it. So.
But again, as Alchemist, you could just turn your victory points into coins.
True, but I also don't have a lot of ways to score this game, so I don't want to use my victory points for coins.
It's fair. I would suggest that taking those coins is probably wrong, although this track, maybe it's going to work out. But yeah, like, using your early power to, like, really supercharge your economy is often ideal. But yeah, who knows? Like, we'll see.
And, I mean, I guess you still have enough power that you could still get the priest if you want to advance shipping and still build dwelling. So that's
he already advanced ship.
Yeah.
To be clear. So
okay.
Yeah, he already 5 power priested. Like that's why I mean I think the coins is somewhat justifiable. I don't know if I would have done it, but
it has enough power that it makes sense, and he'll still be able to get something for action next round.
Yeah.
So I'm just passing here. The favors that I took, I wasn't entirely sure what favors I wanted, but I was just quickly counted out the turns. There was no way I was getting the big building bonus tile, and so it looked like I was just passing on a bunch of coins. So I didn't take Fire 1, I took Air 2 and Earth 2, even though I started on a couple of, with 2 dwellings. Yeah, I just felt like Earth 2 is slightly better here than Fire 1 because I was just going to pass on a boatload of coins. So that's sort of my
and if you're trying to build a temple next round, now you have 4 workers. Like I think Earth 2 is very mandatory. But yes, I think that was a very savvy play here. Like you knew you were about to pass into a lot of coins. Take Earth 2 first. Your economy will let you build a second temple this round just fine. So yeah.
Now I tend to go for 6 coins early game more than I do the 4 coins in the cult step. I just find so often I don't use the cult step. I'm not going to use my priest for shipping next turn because I'm pretty much just building another temple for like probably just Earth 1, Fire 1 or something. So my priest's going to Fire, in which case this cult step comes with a worker later.
Well, but you're going to take Fire 1 next round.
I'm taking Fire 1 next round. Good point.
So that it doesn't.
Thank you. I think commentary.
I think you're correct that just the extra coins is actually probably going to be better here for you. But your 2 shipping start here, Sprockitz, is fun.
Yep.
And you're also delaying the temple. Okay. So normally passing on the spade is super exciting, but I might just need the couple of extra coins more.
What does your turn look like? You build a temple for something next turn?
I build a temple and I might, well, the other question is if I just hard dig f6. F6 also just makes my connection trivial this game. And it slightly annoys you as chaos.
I know, if
Even
there's
though
any way that I could...
I don't think you're actually claiming f6 next round though, but yeah.
I don't have the resources. If I had an extra worker, I would could single spade without burning below 6. I'd probably do it, but I just don't. I can't do all that.
Alright. Part of the point of the dwelling rush is I can afford to hard dig, but leaving the spade for halflings is very kind. But although I guess Sprockets also needs coins, so whatever.
Yep. But Sprockets...
Indeed, there.
I would have been happy with the coin actions, but certainly the spade is fine as well.
Yeah, and SJ the Kiwi, indeed there are 3 copies of Earth 1 left. It's the sort of high class player that you're witnessing here today. Just nobody takes Earth 1.
Without an early Earth 1. Right, but
I will admit this isn't normally the setup. I'd just be going econ. I'm only going this route because I am confident I can get a copy of it next turn.
Yeah.
So I can't take too much credit for fanciness.
I'm kind of trying to figure out what I want to do. I think I get double dig next turn. Seems like it.
Where do you dig?
Well, that's what I'm thinking is what if I take temp ship and I use my double dig to get around a little bit more, just kind of expand. Because I have 2 dwellings I can place next turn and then still build a temple safely. So, oh no, maybe I don't. I lied.
I was gonna say, how many workers do you think you got?
Maybe, yeah. So maybe I don't do that. I don't need that. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna take the priest and we'll see what we can do.
So the question here is, do I want coins for any reason? Or do I want to... Well, I'm going to start with a priest too. Alchemist took a priest. Probably he's not sending it to fire, but he might. I'm going to send a priest to fire first and then figure out life from there.
I think Alchemist maybe would have sent the priest to fire. Like, he doesn't really need to advance ship this round. He's just going to build a temple. So I think you were correct to prioritize that.
Which means Sprockets gets coins here if he wants them.
Only be taking those coins.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that's what he would be doing. This is
no Earth 1 pressure yet because Alchemists haven't upgraded. And witches probably don't want it, so
I'm just never taking it, so you're fine. This is the slightly awkward part. I kind of don't want to throw my... I'd like to be building my temple in a spot where I could build a sanctuary town. Not part of this like mega town that's being formed in the center.
Right, because you still have D4 later if you want it. Like you've got all kinds of hexes. Oh, and you were talking about taking F6 this turn, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably will be taking F6. But I'm trying to figure who might actually come be my neighbor this round, and it's not looking good for any of the other spots though. So I think I am just gonna be slamming a temple somewhere that I don't really need it, but
taking the coin, no surprise. Now I can temple and
they give power to
it's
it
good.
there. give alchemists a ton of power, or give, yeah, I guess I just give alchemists 2 3-for-2s, yeah.
Yeah, that seems to make sense.
I'm already getting lots of power off of sprockets when he builds a temple. I don't really want to give you 2 2-for-1s, Ranior.
That also makes sense. So I'm probably supposed to, you know, take water 1, but gosh, I really kind of want to take fire 1 and just go crazy. Partly to help afford digging advances.
Someone also asked a really important question early on that's asking what's the advantage of digging C6 instead of F6 first? That was my spade. None. That was just a mistake. I'll claim that I would have caught that if it was if I wasn't streaming an all-player commentary where I tend to do silly things. But you're absolutely right. Like in the at the beginning of the game, I was just assuming I was building a temple on D3 and spading C6. That halflings were probably going to take E7. And when I spaded E7 with action 5, it just didn't dawn on me that I would... yeah, F6 just wasn't on my radar. But you're absolutely right. I should have single spaded E7 and then used my bonus spade on F6, and that would have been incredible. I just noticed, so you took fire 1, Rainier, as opposed to an early copy of water 1?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
It could well be wrong. I have said it. I mean, I was debating between the two, but fire 1 helps the dig advance game plan. And I have a soft spot for playing just stupidly huge econ witches and hoping it all works out. So
kind of feels double econ, given that you went D-rush into an econ favor. But
I don't actually think I want to double dig this. I don't know really what I want to do here, to be honest. I was thinking, I forgot that you have to pay the income cost and not the priests when you're upgrading your tracks when you put your special landscape down. So I think I'm just gonna do temple for now, and I'll decide.
Yeah, you still need the workers. Yeah, you still need the workers if you're gonna put your landscape down. So
yeah.
And SJ, the Kiwi in chat, is just brought up what I've been considering doing is that I actually have enough resources to take single spade right now and still go to the temple. And I think I'm just going to do that because it gives me, I can convert 3 power to a worker. It's a little gross taking single spade twice, 2 turns in a row, but this just seems pretty strong.
It opens up a lot of hexes for you too to get F6.
Yeah. As for stalling to get Earth 1 first, I probably could have declined to build there and built Earth 1 and then taken it. It's just, I don't know. I tend not to. I tend to just like place dwellings when I build them. Maybe I do it a little bit too often and I shouldn't just throw away 2 points there, but depending on the table, I don't think anyone here would have dug it, but lots of tables, like people will do all kinds of weird stuff if they had their eye on a hex. It also just like allows me to get out of the round quicker, which is usually valuable. It gives me like, you know, if I'm out of the round quicker, there's a higher chance I'll get a priest to a cult that I want next turn, or like, yeah, something.
Yeah.
So anyhow, that was just my justification for giving up 2 points for safety and tempo, basically. So now I'm just going to take the 2 workers I need. I was going to convert 1 anyhow, so I'll just take the 2 worker action. What are your guys' thoughts on that, actually, on declining build if you're planning on taking like a Earth 1 favor, but you're taking spades first? Like, do any of you guys do that, or
I usually just build. The tempo usually matters more.
Right.
But The fact that you just took workers is a little interesting, because now you're having slightly worse tempo, but I guess
true,
there's
that's
like
true.
no way you're getting onto the big building tile. I think that's the scenario where you're gonna regret it, but I would assume alchemists are just gonna pass back onto it here, but
Yeah, I don't think that there's any reason for me to double dig right now because I don't really have a spot to put it. So, and if I leave,
and you get the big building tile again. Like you
yeah,
just get 2 more workers. Like why put a dwelling down when you can get 2 workers?
exactly.
Plus, like yeah, now you like as I said earlier, like you can just go sanctuary this next round. Whether or not you're supposed to or want to, that's up to you. But like, yeah, you have plenty of good options.
I would go sanctuary, but I think that I want to try and get my landscape down, and then it'll upgrade my digs, and then maybe upgrade them again, so that they're ready for dig round. I feel like that's a smarter move than just building a sanctuary.
Yeah. Sure.
So I'm trying to figure out what to pass for here. Priest doesn't seem great. I've got 2 of those coming in. Worker power and 2 coins seems kind of like the obvious thing to jump at. However, question is do I want to send a priest off somewhere? I think I'm actually passing for temp ship, only because I can afford to upgrade ship once here and probably get some dwellings out. But upgrading ship twice seems like a lot at this point, so temp ship is just saving me some coins. Lynsfourth probably doesn't take coins again, but
I was gonna say, are you planning to sanctuary or you're not? Or
No, I don't. I think I'm gonna take.
No,
you're asking
I wasn't even talking about you. I was talking about Weber. Yeah, if Weber's next round just build dwellings, or if it's build sanctuary, I think that's the big divergent point for you.
A sanctuary is worth as much in round 5 or 6. It'll town me. Well, it towns me up, which is not bad, and scores the 5 points. Then it gets me favors. It feels a little tall. I honestly, it didn't dawn on me that I was supposed to do that. What kind of feels better is like before digging factions get too powerful and upgrade digs, is there a world where I get on 2 of h6, e5, b5 next turn, and that just feels really good. But because like what would I be taking next turn? I'd be securing water 1, and then taking like, I mean, air 1 isn't going to be worth any points for a couple of turns. Water 2 is possibly interesting. Yeah, I'm just going to pass, take temp ship, go the dwelling route, but you might be right that sanctuary is better. I don't know.
I would sanctuary like 1,000% of the time, yeah.
Really?
As the chat is telling you, I think 2 key town in round 3 is also just worth a lot. I think your economy is better served by just taking that early 2 key town and just getting a sanctuary out. Locking up a copy of Water 1 and Air 1 is totally fine this game for you too. Like sure you're not going to use Air 1 much until rounds 5 and 6, but
fair enough.
And I have big econ plans, so I may as well take coins.
Don't you always have big econ plans, Ranior?
Well, that is pretty much all I do. My big sad is how much do I regret? How much am I gonna regret not just taking F6? Like I could have hard dug it all that round. I wasn't paying attention to the fact that Weber would ever have a chance at it, and I just focused on doing other things first. I don't think it's, I don't know how much I care about. It matters though. See, like I have to pay for a lot more shipping now, which is a pain partly on the priest production side of things for me, but plus the other problem is like I do think Weber's possibly in the best other position, although Sprockit's game is also pretty on track. But yeah, taking F6 away from Weber would have also been pretty good, but oh well.
Sorry, just one sec. Well, I think you guys have talked me into building a sanctuary and getting a dwelling out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 key town gets me 5 power, and then I'll get a 6th power if I take water 1. Can we still get SA and 2 dwellings out? An SA and a dwelling, obviously, but yes, an SA and 2 dwellings seems really amazing. So how do we do that?
You have 2 priests. I mean, you just use a priest as a worker if you want.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if I need to be taking a power action right now. Because otherwise I'm down converting. Probably I'm just taking coins here.
I would think you take coins. I don't want you to, but I assume that's what you would do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the first coin action I've had.
Do you guys think building a sanctuary this round for me is better than trying to get some more dwellings down to build up a worker economy for next round?
It's tough for you. I don't know the right answer.
I feel like I need shipping and digging in order to have an effective round 4, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it all done. So.
Yeah, digging's going to be tricky. I guess you do have that 1 dig advance. There go the workers.
Taking more workers, that's...
Sprockitz, I think you must have disconnected or something. I sent you a message on Discord. I'm not sure if you're trying to say stuff, but can't hear you again.
Back?
It's back.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, I'm sorry about my computer.
Yeah, no worries.
If the coins were still there, I would have taken that, but I'm going to try and go heavy workers, probably try and pass early to get the coins next round. And
yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'm going to pass in front of you now, but...
Ranior, you're passing already.
Yeah, I got my sanctuary. What else do you want me to do this round? I'm also
I don't know. Build out your
dig
economy.
advance.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, these are the things I don't know.
In what way? I'm digging.
I'm asking you because you're the 600 rated witches player, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I need a lot of workers to go down the digging route. I need a lot of coins. There's a 5 coin pass tile. I have fire 1, and then I can take a coins extra starting next round. I'll have all the resources to advance dig.
Right.
And do what I need to. I should be able to get 2 towns in round 5. I mean, the dream is still 3 towns, but I don't know. I'm like half looking, like, I don't know. I don't know about 3 towns in 5. That's a stretch goal. I think we'll just make the 3rd town in round 6 and be happier, but...
Yeah, this water
Ooh,
one
and we
take.
do still see the sanctuary.
Oh, we see a late Earth 2.
Whoa, Earth 2 cannot be correct.
I just thought that the extra worker could help me out next round. I didn't really know what to do, so I figured Earth 2 was my best bet right now. Might not be correct, but
I would still just take water 1. It's greedy for points, but I think you can play just a really weird alchemist greed points game. But I do admit you don't have a great worker economy, and that could slow you down in various ways. So
I'm kind of regretting not trying to expand a little bit more early, but we'll see how it goes.
yeah, you're in a bit of a tough spot when you try. This is the downside of early stronghold. You sink so many resources into it, and then it's hard to build the temple the next round and still get dwellings out. And then it didn't help. It didn't really help that sprockitz beat you to E10.
Yeah.
Ranior beating me in the pass, I need to get as many coins as I can, since he's going to take Act 4 to open up.
Yeah. You passing for coins there also made a lot of sense. You definitely needed them.
This is also really nice if the big building bonus is opened up for me.
Yeah, how does it feel to have everything?
Pretty good.
I considered delaying and upgrading my digging just to take the
Just
big
take more
building.
workers. Yeah, I agree. I
Get
think you need the 6
workers.
coins more, but it is unfortunate because yeah, I
It
mean,
would have also hurt Chaos Magicians, but
yeah, Weber's game is.
Chaos also badly need coins too.
Yeah, that's true, but
But they'll have an influx coming into round 5, so I think they'll be.
Game's
okay.
still so good. Oh, whoa, what did you just do there, though?
I built 2 dwellings.
Yeah, so I actually really dislikes the stretch, but the 3 power to a worker to build a dwelling there, I think is wrong for you.
Yeah, probably. Your guys' dig advances aren't upgraded yet. I probably should have just. Well, anyhow.
Oh, but I see. You did. I see. You wanted to get the 2-ship dwelling. Okay, that's actually a little better. But the problem was you had so many workers coming in off the cult track. Yeah, like I thought resource-wise it wasn't great, but
no, it wasn't great. But it was me utilizing temp ship, which
the argument that you had
coins.
2 shipping, yeah, that actually makes it better. I missed the fact that you wouldn't be able to reach that hex this round otherwise.
Right, and
if you could reach that hex, I think it's clearly wrong. You really want to just save all that power for coins, but maybe it was right then actually.
I did that knowing full well that I'll need we'll probably need to convert workers into coins this round. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can also do some hard digs, and I don't know. I think life is pretty fine here.
Yeah.
I think I'm just sending a. What's your shipping at, Ryan? 0.
Shipping. Yeah.
Who needs it?
I mean, I eventually do. I need a lot of things. Not taking F6 is actually gonna make me lose this game. It's really actually quite bad. But whatever. It's a mistake I made a long time ago. But yeah, not hard to get F6 in that earlier round is haunting me a bit. Partly because it's also given Weber a much better game.
I think what I'm doing here is probably just starting to carve out a town on F4 down to G4, H3 stuff next to Ryan. Seems good. Is anything else super under threat? I mean, G6 is. So a bunch of stuff is. Halflings have 2 shipping and can upgrade digs. But I don't know.
I have a lot of digging coming up, and we need to decide where we need to use it.
Yeah.
Witches and halflings both.
Like, I'd love to get over to my natural reds in the west. The problem is like, I could hard dig D1 and get to C3, but I mean, you can just take that if it's important, if you want to. You can also hit H6 and A9. I think I can put off F4 for a turn. So my argument here is I'm going to take H6 first, and then actually, is there some weird world where I'm going to do this? No, there's no world where Ryan was going to dig that on me, I don't think. That would be a triple dig when you're only half upgraded.
Yeah, but it's very tempting.
It was
partly because slowing you down, I think, is very important.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. My preference would have been H6 first, but now I'll take H6 or A9 if whichever sprockets leaves open for me, assuming one gets dug pretty quick here. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Strange, you think F4 was correct? Yeah.
You get in possibly another town is just gross, is what it really is. So yeah, like,
yeah,
no good. Or rather, not even just another town. Getting a 2 dig town is gross. So.
I'm just gonna try and jump around however much I can this round. And dig a few places. I might upgrade digs. I think I'm gonna upgrade them the second time. in all honesty.
Yeah, I've been debating how much I care about taking G5.
What does it get you?
It's mostly just spots to dig for towns. The problem is the whole game plan this round was to dig out town space, and the fact that yeah, the game plan's actually not working that well. Partly because of where people are at. Like, I really needed the east here to turn into a town, and it's gonna be a lot of digs, which isn't great actually. Not having my connection secured on F6 is, again, like, if I could have connected on one chip this game, it's much better, but I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. I could just go, like, I have a town in the far east here with a couple of digs. That's not hard, but then third town is not looking good.
I mean, you could try like getting up to the west somehow, and then halflings are likely to go there. So you might get the town up there.
I could maybe make it late. I agree. That's the one consideration here if I'm supposed to try to just eke out a late town, or if I just take G5 here. The problem is Weber's will just dig G4.
Yeah, and I still
if Weber wouldn't, if
that.
Weber couldn't dig G4, then this would be easy G5, G4. But this is what I mean. But yeah, the Weber having tempo on these hexes over here is just miserable. And the fact that he has, like, again, this. Well, why have we helped him? If he just did a stupid dwelling rush last round too.
If I had not done my stupid dwelling rush?
If you just did your silly dwelling rush, maybe you even were silly enough to give me coins. Who knows? If I just, no, it's fine. Yeah, I really am supposed to take actions here. I think I let Alchemist have it.
Your biggest, the biggest blunder. I think.
Yeah, no,
yeah. This is a whole different game.
Completely agree. F6 is right.
Well, mind you, I made a mistake and then later recovered. So in a normal world, like, you wouldn't have gotten that anyhow, Ranior. I made a mistake, a really dumb one, which is why it was
Sure. Yeah. Sure. So we agree on that. Yeah. It should have been reversed, but that's not the game we were in. It's the game we were in. You let me get F6 potentially, which is huge.
I would have gotten more power. I would have gotten more power earlier in the game if you had taken F6 like you were supposed to. So.
Yeah.
Destroy on C6, so there would have been a whole lot more power.
Thanks, Noddy. Yeah, listen to these guys beat me up. Appreciate the chat. It's coming to my defense here. Talking about all the hypothetical things that were supposed to happen.
See, I'm sitting here wondering if it's worth it upgrading digs again before I dig my next hex, or if I just go for it and dig it with the 2 workers instead.
Well, if you dig twice, like, it's worth it to upgrade digs if you dig twice, because it's a wash, and then you're going to get power back because of your stronghold, and you can probably, like, you can upgrade digs and dig 3 times or something.
Yeah, that's fair. Good point. That's what I was thinking about doing too, and then just putting dwellings down after, like, next round, but...
So many extra workers.
Yeah. I mean, that's a little where I'm at too. Like, I purposely just took a triple dig at I9 just for some points, but...
Need my 9th, 10th, and 11th dwellings to place, and I'd be fine.
I agree. That's what I need as well. I like the idea of that.
I do need to secure h3 this turn. Lyns could dig h4 and then muck up h3 on me, so I'm just gonna... I'd love a trading post this turn. Let me just think about this.
I don't think there's any world where I get H3 this round though. So
Even just digging at one though, just
yeah.
costing him spades is really
Yeah,
quite
you 100%
like an
should.
acceptable trade.
I think you totally do. And my problem is I'm light on coins right now, so do I send a priest off and maybe someone gives me some leech and then I build a dwelling and build a trading post?
Yeah, I mean, to be clear, you have 10 coin in, like the cult coins here is also amazing for you. Like,
I know.
Are you actually short coins?
No,
like...
I'm not short coins, but my last dwelling doesn't give me any resources, so I'm 2 coins and 1 power better and 2 air 1 points better.
Okay,
I don't need it. It's just better.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd need some leech. Yeah, well, that's fine. I think I just do this. How many priests do I have left? All right. This is the point in the game where things get slightly more silent. It becomes all player commentary and then like less of an open table game.
Sure. Good comment. So yeah, right now I'm thinking where do I put my second town, and A10 in the northeast looked like a good place for me. So I'm starting to wonder how do alchemists connect? How do witches connect? Do either of them connect?
I'm not sure I'm connecting, because as soon as I, like, the problem is as soon as I even think of, like, again, this is why the stronghold is partly so good on this map. Like, as soon as I think about advancing ship, you guys can hit I6, like, and I don't really want to pay for shipping unless I get that hex. So yeah, it's.
You have to outlast everyone and have that many resources left that it's possible, which.
Yeah, it's just like never happening. So like I'm just also yeah, so like I'm not gonna actually score network points here. So like yeah, it's really bad. I originally was in some games planning on just doing more traditional things and just building the stronghold in round 3, and that would have worked pretty well, but wanted to go down the silly digging witches stuff. But that did not work. I mean, it's also like, yeah, I don't know. Weber being able to be on F4 already was something I needed to beat him to, I think, looking at just the position. But
and I did get the perfect ending to this round. That dwelling on E4 might have been a bit. I mean, I don't know if you had anywhere else to build wins, but that dwelling on E4 was the power I needed to do this, which is pretty.
It was either that or H4, and either way, I was giving you the power. But
right,
E4 I think was a little more contested potentially.
Yep.
So, and that's like my only way to connect if I'm gonna go around that way now. So.
Yeah, E4 is a good hex for you just for economy, just being able to build a lot of dwellings.
I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna get any town situation happening next round, but I have a lot of resources, so hopefully I can figure something out.
I was going to say, like, if you bridge and the whole H4, I3, G5, G6, like, I don't know, you got towns.
Ryan, you have 2 towns coming in, sprockets. Are you trying to figure out a second town somehow for next round?
Only going to have 1 town in round 5. I'm hoping for a second one in round 6.
Right.
Yeah. You are also at 84 points, though, so yeah.
Right.
But I have halflings usually. I have no I'll have no cult points.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Yeah, like, I agree. Halflings, in order to actually have a winning game, you often have to end round 6 at like 120, 130, because you don't get a lot of end game, but you're on pace for like 120, 130, so.
How bad is converting power to a worker to dig one more time right now? Is that awful?
No, I don't think it's awful at all, but
I think it's okay, but I would just build a dwelling.
Yeah, I might just build a dwelling, but I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess building building a dwelling's pretty good too.
Like you don't need. You've already built your stronghold. You don't need double dig anymore. There's not like any huge need to keep like more than 4.
It was one or the other, and I guess a dwelling makes more sense because it gives me more resources for next turn too, and it's kind of nice to have that town kind of started along its way a little bit more, considering I might not even get a bridge next round.
Deranged agrees, dwelling better than dig. I didn't really want to be the first person to pass here because I obviously don't want a priest. Temp ship is not super helpful. Worker power, now that I took that leech, is only worker 2 power in a coin. But I get a 7 coin action at the beginning of next round, because I obviously just need more coins. I mean, I don't imagine I need a 3rd priest. I don't think there's 2 shipping get me to anything sneaky. No, not really. All right.
I will say the stronghold open was nice because I always have coins, so that's super helpful this game.
Yeah,
I mean, I do want to stress to you again, Alchemist's whole like ability is that you always have coins.
I know, but I don't want to. Then I don't have to use my victory points for coins, though. Is what my point is. I don't know if that's super good or not, but
I mean, you're like playing a faction that doesn't have an ability, basically. Then, or I guess you're playing a faction that has a very strong stronghold. It's funky.
Yeah,
it's very strong. I mean, 6 coins alone is a very strong income.
Yeah.
And then you add in 2 power for every dig, and you're pretty solid. So it's not, and especially since it allows you to do your landscape.
Yeah, that's true. You are playing a faction that has more than just.
Yeah.
I felt like it was smart because then because it might be a low scoring game, just not having to use as many points for coins is kind of an advantage.
Yeah. I think there's some.
No, it definitely has been good on that front.
I don't really know what I pass for here though. I guess maybe just more coins.
Yeah, I mean 6 coins or a priest and 2 coins.
Is a priest worth 4 coins for you? Priest or
your 8 points. I had to take your 8 points away.
Yeah, I figured someone would when I was trying to stall for it a little bit there, but you never know. Sometimes you get lucky with that kind of stuff. I'm trying to think of what I could possibly do with a priest right now. I mean, maybe try and fight a little bit more on a cult, but I feel like Earth is the only one I have any chance at, so.
Deranged saying he can't imagine that a priest is worth 4 points here. Unless you win Earth, which is an argument that, well, I'm never going to not take 7 coins, but then someone could send a priest to Earth and actually make it hard for me to lock it up.
I already have 1 priest, but they don't need the second.
Oh, they, of course, yeah.
Well, and coins are points for alchemists, right? So, I mean, they're points for everyone, but they're more efficient points for alchemists. So it's nice to have more of them.
Especially assuming you can use them.
Yeah, exactly. I also, when I was talking to Aaron, last week we were playing a game and we were talking. He was explaining to me that you always need twice as many coins as workers to do things in this game, and it like just clicked for some reason for me, and I started to kind of understand the ratio for resources, and I think that's part of why I've been playing a little bit better too. It's just because I sort of understand that better now.
Nice.
Yeah, I can never have too many coins. Well, I suppose you could. But
well spoken while you're taking.
It's very hard to get too many coins.
Yeah.
Hey George, I apologize in advance. I don't believe anyone has taken water 2.
Oh, don't support George's nonsense.
No.
You don't need to apologize for not taking water 2.
That will worth very much, or what?
Water 2. George just always wants water 2, basically.
Yeah, it's just a meme. George just always encourages people to take water 2.
Yeah.
Ah, shit. I have to undo. I didn't pay attention to my stupid resources. I hate undoing.
Undo.
Apologies.
I hate it.
Yeah, I didn't convert.
Fair enough.
I cost myself a power. Being sloppy.
That's fine.
It's not fine.
So,
I can't
okay.
afford to be sloppy.
Okay.
I mean, in this game it is. My Fire 2 game's on Wednesday this upcoming week, so I need to be playing sharper than this.
I guess I just build my town.
I'm so disappointed about building a town.
Well, I don't know. I am slightly too tired to think sequencing wise if there's something that I should be doing before that, but I think it's probably fine.
I think there's like a strange world where I get 2 towns this turn.
I don't think it's that strange.
No, I think you just get a bridge as soon as possible. And
Not
then,
at all.
Like, that's what I was trying to tell you last round when you were talking about, like, looking like, oh, I don't know how my towns are coming in. I'm like, I think you're getting 2 towns. Like,
Yeah, I just realized looking at it now. I'm like, this shows the inexperience compared to some of you guys, though. As I'm like, oh wait, I do get 2 towns this turn, but I don't realize it till like 2 rounds after you guys do.
yeah, no,
you
that's fair.
probably need to take a worker town because you need a trading post and a temple for fire too in the south, and then a dig and a dwelling and 2 trading posts. So that's 10 workers and you have 8. So, yeah.
Four, 5.
I guess at this point, do I want to give Alex a 2-for-1 or a free power? I don't really know what the correct answer is. I'll just go 2-for-1. I think a cult town, so I can get a second cult spade somewhere. I don't know where it's going to go. That someone isn't just going to immediately dig it, but
I never really know at what point I should stop taking leech. But 2-for-1s seem like they're good all the way to the end of the game. So
I mean, I think if you could get a worker action
It's hard for 2-to-1s to be wrong in almost
because
any game.
you have a dig coming up, right, Alex? Like you're going to dig I3 at some point, which gives you enough power for a 2-worker action. So
right.
in a round where you want to build towns. So I think a 2-for-1 is totally fine because you should have your eye on action 3.
I mean, I don't. There's no guarantee the two workers will still be there if bitches may want that.
For sure, we have a bunch of digging factions, so that's a really efficient power action all of a sudden. But
yeah, it's good for a lot. I'm trying to figure out how I actually score enough points this game to be competitive, and it's not clearly coming to me. I have been staring down that power action for workers, but I don't think I'm taking it. At this point, I might just take a worker town. I don't know. I would have obviously loved the other cult town, I think, this game. And I guess if I would like the other cult town, it's probably supposed to just be another priest town. There still are, as I predicted at the start of this, that there's tons of priest slots everywhere, so. Deranged, I agree. This has just been a comically good chaos game, though. Yeah, it's just been insane. Although, I mean, I do gotta give like Sprockitz is also doing very well with these halflings. I mean, he started at 30. He's made his points.
what I'm trying to figure out is if I'd love to lock up water or air here, but I also want to advance ship twice and possibly get out a dwelling on C3 so my cult spades go somewhere maybe away from where people are just going to dig them. Although alchemists have 3 ships, so if I upgrade ship twice, I can build on C3. A cult spade can go on C1, which alchemists can't touch, and then another one goes on E2, which alchemists can hit if they want. So I'm not really safe from anyone anyhow.
Honestly, though, I don't like. Is there any world where alchemists hit E2 this
I
game?
don't know.
Like, I don't see why I would when I have H2 F2 I1 down there that I can get.
I think he kind of has his own things to do. I mean,
Maybe.
Unfortunately, I don't know. It does. You do kind of appear to be in the position where you can just get away with pretty much whatever you want. Like, you are actually going to be competitive on network this game, I think, which is also just nutty. But like, halflings aren't going to have incredible network because they almost never do because they put so many workers into digging. Alchemists haven't gone on super explosive stuff. I'm not sure I'm connecting yet. Like, you are getting pretty much everything this game still.
Alchemist. I mean, Alchemist. The only connection is if they go through I3, I2. So theirs is also tenuous.
Oh, I forgot that they hadn't actually connected. Yeah, funky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a little weird. So I have a weird, maybe it's weird to me and not so weird to you guys, but I think it's worth more points for me to take water 1 here and just make my town with I6. And then I have 9 points coming in from trading posts in future rounds.
Oh, that's a good point. You don't have your trading posts. Yeah.
I think that's completely reasonable since you want to I6 anyway, most likely.
I vote for the route that doesn't involve taking I6.
I just thought about it, and it's 5 points for a town this round for the second town, or I can take water 1 and get more points for trading posts. And I feel like that's the smarter thing to do.
That's the one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is I6 is just a hex you don't want to take.
Or a hex you don't want me to take.
Yeah. I mean, I have been trying to set this round up in the way that Sprockitz, talked about earlier of like, well, if I could get away with a round where I have a long round and get to advance ship late and take a hex, but yeah, it's not gonna happen. But ugh, what terrors then?
If you built Stronghold for that town, it would have happened probably, or potentially could have happened, but
I mean, you still could have just dug it, right? Like, that's the problem. You
Well,
just dig it once, or Sprockets digs it once. Like, I don't think it works. Yeah,
I think
I was screwed. I don't. No. Again, it's not taking F6 or then I was supposed to go for a stronghold game plan at some point, and not go for the kind of digging game plan I've set up. But oh well. I was expecting to get F4 this game. My long-term plan was in round 4 I was going to dig F4 before hopefully anybody was really able to. But yeah, Weber was... I probably should have known that Chaos would be mucking about there too quickly.
How would have you secured that otherwise?
Secured F4?
Yeah, like how would have you gotten the tempo to upgrade digs enough so it wouldn't have been...
Well, I nearly could have upgraded digs in round 3, but I decided to pass for the coins action, right? Like, and the way it was, yes, you were already there, but I think there are some games where you're just getting to E5 in round 4 or something.
Mm-hmm.
That is a really cozy little Chaos town spot, though, where...
Oh, it's so nice when it happens.
Nice.
So this is one of the downsides of both you and Halflanes not starting on this either. Like, it was such a dream for Chaos to not have Alchemist or Halflanes over here, because you guys would have often already dug through to get over to the west. Sorry, I'm blabbing a lot while it's my turn, because I don't know what I'm doing.
When I was bidding on Chaos, I was expecting probably a single town this game. Maybe a second, but it would have been really tricky and later. Of like D3, C6, and then a bridge. Not a single 4-hex town early, and then a second 4-hex town that doesn't involve a bridge. Like, it just feels like really good for Chaos to have two towns on this map that don't involve a bridge or anything awkward.
Now I have to decide, do I want to... If I pass now, I can secure lots of coins for next round. I mean, someone's going to get this bonus. Don't really want it to be Chaos Magicians based on the score, so I think pass. I don't know. I don't think Alchemist pass now. Maybe. Probably not worth it. Witch is passing for it since they've got their 2 towns.
Yeah, there's no world in which I pass for that if you pass right now, unfortunately.
But Ranior, you pass for it, eh?
Don't see.
It's real tough. I would love to advance ship and force Lyns to take I6. I mean, he's presumably going to, but
Yeah.
if it was just me and him left, I would really love to force it. But then, yeah, the problem is if I do that, you'll pass for it. And I still would like to not just hand you the win as much as you've already been handed it. I also could use more workers, so.
Strange is saying in chat that he thinks my dig on D1 should have been action 5 as opposed to a hard worker dig. Maybe that's true. Because I could have gotten out like a trading post and 2 dwellings this turn, but honestly, it didn't even dawn on me with this many like high of worker production. So might be right, but
I think that's probably right. Just because, what else are you getting that power? And unless you get 2 more leads, you can take Act 6, and then it was a smart move.
right.
If you need that many more, you probably don't really need that many more hexes though at this point. You already have 2 digs coming with the cults, so I feel like you're ahead on digs.
And I probably do just build a stronghold next turn and then just secure a red with my chaos portal. I guess. I mean, I absolutely. Oh no, Ranier's passing for it. Okay.
Yeah, no, I have to. Like, I would kind of prefer to temple for just air 1 as some point source. I'd like to do some other things, but that tile is too good for me. I have to just take it.
Too many points. It's too many points for everyone.
It's too many points for everybody, and like the 2 workers are actually good for me. Like, I think I can eke out the 3rd town next round anyhow. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I'm trying to figure out what the smartest thing is to do with my resources. I'm overproducing priests, so it could become a worker and I can build a trading post. Although I have more coins than workers, so it's not like super important for my economy. I can also just upgrade shipping now because I need another shipping upgrade, and that way I can get it back as a priest.
Oh, maybe I can't make another town.
You can. I mean, another option is you can take. Well, look at what alchemists will do. Or alchemists is going to take Earth from you because Earth is winning Earth is 4 points.
Yeah, the other option, is just like sending a priest as a cult bump, which feels not great, but I guess it probably is correct here. And then, because I'm probably passing before alchemist, so I can just secure Earth.
But it doesn't make sense to take it 10 or 4 points. Just to be.
Yeah, just like temple for water 2 to water or something. Earth. I don't know. Maybe I'll go the cult bump route. I'm not entirely sure what's correct here.
You can also take a priest action to secure it this round.
Yep. I want a 2-for-1. Sure. There is a chance that Lynsforth takes a... Oh no, you need to use your... I guess you're not building a town this round, Alex, because you don't have enough resources.
No, I'm 1 worker short.
Right. If I thought that you could take a priest town and buy a priest and send it to a cult, I'd do that. But I think I'm just gonna... I don't know. Maybe I do this. There's a better chance that I get onto... I don't know. This doesn't feel great,
I
but...
think like with a temple and Earth 3, I could beat you on there, but I think it's really hard for me to do otherwise. So.
Yeah, and the temple's worth it. Well, I mean, you don't have a trading post at this point, so you'd have to trading post temple, which you could.
I guess I'm just passing here. I make 9 power. So that's 5 coins, unless I wanted to double dig, which I don't. So I just have more coins. And then I guess passing for this, I mean, I can't take another priest. 3 power and 2 coins is just going to be 3.5 coins here. So the spade has to be the best option, even though I have 2 cult spades coming in, which gives me 4 hexes to build on. So I don't even know that I'll use the spade, but I guess it was an argument for building a trading post and down converting power to workers for trading post. I don't know. Anyhow, it's fine. Why not the last TP? I have air 1. Yeah, it's a good point. That might have been correct.
I actually think it was right not to.
Really? This is the part where, as if this was a really competitive game.
You already have so many coins.
Yeah.
And if you're, I don't know, like, are you sure that you want 2 coins and 2 power and a point instead of a worker here? And also now you just have more power? Like, I don't know, I guess. I think it's very negligible.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's only 1 point of air 1.
So I'm just going to put my cult spades in really safe spots right next to alchemist, so it seems fun. We'll just do a thing like that and a thing like that.
Now, the thing I will agree with, going back much earlier in the round, is because I think you did want so many workers. I think taking single dig last round, though, was,
really,
in hindsight, just quite a bit better. Well, sure, because if you have more workers, then you would have easily been able to just build the trading post and a dwelling. Like, the way you did it, you would have had to do a painful 3 power to worker conversions, and you chose not to. But if you had just done 4 power for essentially 3 workers, that would have been pretty good for your round.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the mistake for you last round is not taking single dig.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I don't know if I would have caught that. Single dig is just one of those actions that seems so bad late in the game. It's just I have a hard time.
Well, and you had a lot of workers, and so like it worked out. It's just, it turns out you have so many coins this game because of the way like things have rolled for you that you don't need power for coins. And so if your power is just for workers, then single dig actually is better than hard digging, which is not usually what we have to teach people, but
yeah.
It makes sense though.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. Thanks for bringing that up, whoever it was who initially brought that up.
All right, is there any scenario where I'm actually making this town? I think I have to continue to accept that it's just not actually happening.
Which town are you thinking here?
Making a 3rd town.
One that hasn't started yet.
Oh,
yeah. I would have to ship. Basically, I think it involves shipping twice, getting to B4, building my stronghold on B4, and then carving out the other hexes. And even then, it's not clear. Again, the problem is like the fact that I have to pay for the shipping is what kills the whole plan. But I will admit I have a lot of resources then and not a lot of ways to score them this round, which is not good. But
yeah,
I literally can't connect. I can't make a huge network. I mean, I'm pretty much out of stuff to do, so not good.
I don't know. Is this chaos portal time? Might be. Do I want to give power to? Let's do it.
That's a good point for me. Good time for you to do that, honestly.
I get a free half coin that I don't need. But...
Well, and it's just he's maxed out on power, so.
Oh, I actually missed that part.
Yeah.
I was trying to give you an inefficient 3 for 2 that you might not want. I actually didn't look over at your power. Kiwi's asking a fun question in chat. If I played my cards right, is there a 3rd town in the west with a bridge and a stronghold, and honestly, this may
Stronghold on
sound
D.
terrible. It's possible. It seems, I don't know, like a lot of thinking.
Yeah, it's tricky, but yeah, now that he mentions it, I mean, stronghold on D1 bridging like to the E3, E2, E1 stretch. Maybe you could have made that happen.
Temple for fire too.
I think you had a reasonable chance at it if nobody bridge blocks you or digs you, which I think you're ahead at this point, and it'd be worth it to try and stop you. But.
Yeah, that's
Here's
sort
what's
of my
funny
assumption.
about that, though, is that I'm actually considering just like putting a bridge down right now and trying to get a third town over on the west there.
Right, well, building
can you put a bridge
on
there
F2?
when I'm not connected to it? Does it have to be
No.
attached to one of your structures
have
so
to,
I can
yeah.
put a bridge?
You have to have one of the structures built to be.
Yeah, you can't.
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
I
you
thought
can't.
so.
Yeah, you can't take the bridge for anything that you want to right now.
Right, like I would have to put a dwelling first, right? Like
You need to put something on F2. Yeah.
Oh, and at this point, do you just fire 2 for 2 towns?
I think I probably can.
6, 7, 8.
I think my first action is taking workers though, because I need them. So
now you have to hope to get enough power to get the bridge though.
Yeah,
but I don't need it. But I don't need it with fire 2 though. Is the thing.
Yeah. He takes F3, G3, H2. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I need a worker town, so if no one else takes a worker town, then I'll be okay. But I don't know. If
the only thing I will mention about that plan is you still aren't connected, and you need to connect on I2. Yeah. I'm going to build my stronghold, and I will block I2 because it'll give me network points.
Right, and like that's the thing, right? So
yeah, so it is a weird little balance for you on that front.
I don't know if I'm gonna have enough resources to do it all, to be honest. So I might just try to.
I guess you can, as long as you dig I2 black, though. I guess nobody will. But yeah, do you have the extra workers?
Stronghold. Everyone's been waiting.
Yes, the driller.
And the driller.
And the driller.
Oh man.
Okay, everyone can go home now. That's the only reason people came to this stream, was to see Sprockitz get the driller down.
I think that's the first time I've ever built the driller.
It's usually so not good.
This is the first time I've ever built a stronghold.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I was actually considering that too, Ranior. I was just taking it once to stop you from doing that, because it's not like anyone's gonna take it other.
As long as you, as long as you dig, just as long as you dig at blue here, like Weber's clearly not gonna mess with it, and I can't fly there. I don't know if the worker messes you up in some way, but I hope the answer is yes, I guess. But yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna have enough workers to do everything, though, is the problem. So, we'll see.
2 priests as well that are effectively workers.
Yeah, I'm counting them in my calculations though, and I actually think I still need like a couple workers.
Well, after you dig 4 times, you'll get another worker or 2. For town, you should have enough, I think.
I think there's probably enough as well, yeah. But...
Chat is asking me if I would consider blocking Lynn's connection here. No, probably not. Maybe there's a world where I should. It just seems, well,
it's a lot of resources to throw into a blue hex.
I can't imagine you really care about. Why is Weber sitting here paying attention to the nonsense witches alchemists like 4th place pity battle like?
Now, I haven't been.
I wasn't thinking of that, but what town do I want?
Oh.
What else do I want to do this round? Need to shipping. At least a trading post and another dwelling to, if I need it for network. 3, 5, 7, 7, and 15. I don't really have the coins for that. It's just taking the workers. I mean, does the sanctuary really do me much? I mean, 5 points, and I can. It's probably 9 points if that's still there.
Like a sanctuary for Air 1 is a possibility you're considering?
Yeah. Point play. One less network. make a difference. I'm at 14 network. I could get to 15. This can beat me anyway. Alchemist might be able to beat me. Yeah, let's try and do it all.
All
All
right.
right. Apology, friends.
The two workers might have been better, but
I play for
since...
third. Apologies.
No reason to apologize. It's all good. I thought about it after I dug I2 once too, and I was like, yeah, he's gonna take F3 if I do this, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It was wishful thinking that I would get a third town, honestly. So
Yeah, that's fair.
At this point, there's no real purpose of me accepting 2-for-1s. I can't imagine. I don't even know that there's much point in me building another temple. I guess maybe, but I just need 2 trading posts and 2 dwellings. I have the resources for that. I probably
all you want is that, I think.
I mean, unless I want a temple as well, because someone's Ranior's going to stick 3 priests into water or something. So do I want a temple for... That seems like not worth it. So I think I'm just declining 2-for-1s at this point. Yeah, it's just coins. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why you want power either.
Oh, what if I did a fancy double turn? Let's do it.
fancy.
Yeah, not really much purpose, but I guess it actually helps me lock up these hexes.
Yeah. Gosh, this is what I mean. Like, what a crazy chaos game. You're gonna end with 2 structures on your board, like, and so you're gonna win network, all the calls. Like, oh my god. Ugh. I said chaos were not gonna get away with all this, and then I helped let them get away with all this.
Not to bring up old wounds again, but how did you help this happen? Like, we both made a mistake early game. You should have dug F6, and I should have obviously never have given you the opportunity to dig it. I think there's just...
He didn't take advantage of your mistake.
I didn't take advantage of your mistake. There is...
But the way this game was set up, Chaos just got F6. Like, the thing was I was able to prioritize spades.
I mean, the other thing that was very friendly is that Sprockitz did decide to go on the early shipping path. Like,
yes.
I admittedly did not think that you were getting any spades. So I mean, the game developed in a way that Sprockitz decided he wanted to fight and go for early shipping. I think that's generally how halflings do win here. So, like, I think I was totally fine, but
yeah, I mean, the thing that seemed really friendly...
happened.
The thing that seemed really friendly to me is that I was able to prioritize spades and not get Earth 1 blocked and just take my damn time. But
yeah,
that was the main thing, was the fact that you went Dwelling Rush was actually really helpful. Even if, I mean, I guess, and then Sprockets, no one taking single spade. Yeah, so I guess 2 people were friendly, but I don't know.
I mean, I mean, to be fair, like, you've got everything this game too. Like, halflings, me, and like, none of us went for a second temple to try to like slam priests onto cults, and you did get to go for the second temple into everything. Like, I think there's some scenarios where I could have chose to also go for like the earlier town and go for 2 key town, and I had no actual desire to do that. But like, I mean, this was a game where everything has gone your way, right? Nobody dug any of your hexes either. Oh, sorry, no. I mean, I took H7, I guess, arguably, and Sprockets took whatever. It's like D6, but I mean, you never had realistic hopes for a lot of those. Every like key hex that you'd want to be on, it's all there. You're on all of them. Like, I mean, this was just everything. Which it happens sometimes. So yeah, you're right. I don't totally know if it was. I don't know if I can say it was really me much, but yeah. Deranged. I mean, I do agree. The thing is, since I was on witches, I mean, there was there was like no scenario where I was gonna open Earth 1 here though. So even if I went Temple in round 1, I would have just still gone Temple for Fire 1 or Air 2 and built dwellings. But...
I'm trying to think about now is if I actually want to send a priest to water. I have a ton of coins, and I'd actually just like to upgrade ship twice. I need to upgrade ship once in order to connect. If I send a priest to water, my second priest can connect. I probably then win water, and then I can just convert to a worker, like 3 power to a worker to get my last dwelling out. Yeah, I guess trying to defend water makes sense. Templing for water 3? I don't know. Back to the workers, back to the single dig blunder. I'm not made of workers here.
Yeah. All right, Linz, how much am I committed to trying to beat you?
I don't even know how I'm gonna beat you just yet. So I don't know how committed are you to trying to beat me.
I was gonna say, if I don't bridge block you, I think you do just clearly beat me. Or maybe you can't make this town even if you do get the bridge.
Oh well, I mean, in the purpose of open table, I can't make the town whether I get the bridge or not right now.
No, not with 7 workers. You have 9 workers.
4, 5, 6.
Yeah, no, he does have problems because he did build this trading post. If he had not already committed to the other town, but I think he is right now that I'm doing the math as well.
I would have built the temple for fire 2.
You.
Maybe the temple for fire 2 would have been better anyway, because I could have beaten you on fire then potentially. But like, I don't know.
Wait, does he need a second trading post? Can't he just do a dwelling town F1 G2 H2? Just do like.
Well, but he needs I2 to connect. So
so he needs another structure which involves a temple.
Yeah, then he would need another whole structure.
I basically decided that the trying to fight a little bit on network is better than getting the second town, I guess.
The third town, yeah.
Yeah, the third town. I don't know which one is correct, honestly, because the third town might have been worth like 11 points potentially, but.
I would much rather you do the third town personally.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're supposed to take some network because you should be able to. I think you should be able to tie Weber still, right? Yeah. So.
I think that, yeah, I at least tie Weber on it.
Yeah.
I don't. Weber, why can you still 5 power priest? I don't like that. Oh, but you really want to worker though, so you can build that dwelling.
Oh yeah. No, I'd much rather 16. Well, I don't actually know the points.
Oh, actually, I should just whatever. I should make you.
What?
I should confirm it.
Confirm what? I'm not I'm gonna build E1, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say I should. I whatever. I'm trying to figure out how to actually score points on my resources, but I just always build a trading post and see what you do. Make you commit to build the dwelling.
Are you trying to make a play for water?
I mean, I'll probably take water for you then otherwise. Yeah.
Deranged. I'm not able to make the town and also still dig I2 and put a dwelling there is the point. So it's either go for network or go for the town, but I'm not beating Ranior without that connection. So.
Deranged. It matters a lot because he's beating sprockitz on network.
15 points out of network, which is worth more than a town.
Yeah.
And it's
plus the points I get for all the dwellings and stuff.
It's less resources to commit, less coins and stuff.
8.
Now
Still think he could do both.
I think if I committed to the Temple Fire 2 route earlier, I think he maybe done it.
Yeah, I agree.
You'll be one because there's no 2 worker town. You'll be 1 worker short to do it.
When I made that town, I took 2 workers though.
Well, sure, but you already have those resources. Like, we already assumed that you would have got that one, so.
But you would have needed your other town to also be a 2-worker town.
Oh, that's true.
Ah.
There's a world where I could have like just tried to dig and converted down to a worker a couple times too, though, with my power.
So I have this bonus spade, and I don't need it because E1 isn't under threat. And given that alchemists can time me on network, I need to do something with it. It feels kind of rough, but I need to dig I2 away from alchemists to make it more inefficient for them to connect.
That's a reasonable thing to do.
See, this would have been much funnier if you. Or wait, were you always? Oh no, I was acting in front of you. Never mind. I was gonna say, if you had just turned that right back to green after he dug it away from green, that would have been the real fun.
Yeah, and I wasn't.
You would have just immediately put a dwelling on it.
I would have definitely flown. Like I do have abilities to like try to beat you on network then, and that's probably the best use of my resources at the end here. Annoyingly, like I really have very inefficient things to be doing.
Do I win here if I beat you on network though? I think you still beat me. Like I might.
I might still just be ahead of you. I agree. I'm not sure.
You have more
You
call
might
points
just be
than
last.
I do.
I have a good amount of call points, and I'm passing for 8. Like it's probably just ahead of you, but I don't know. You're gonna get 15 points in network. Like
I'm gonna get 18 actually. I think unless Weber can put another dwelling down right now, which he can. So
he can.
Yeah.
He's going to.
He can.
That's Weber's last action here.
Yeah.
Or his next and only action that I see is to put the dwelling down. Should I have started with Stronghold instead of Dwelling Rush, Kiwi? Maybe. The Stronghold's very good on this map. It would have let me connect. It would have let me better set up for town locations, because I would be leveraging the upper left for a town. Opening Stronghold is awkward though, because like I guess I could just throw the Stronghold on F8 actually. I never wanted to upgrade anything on D2. It just gives too much leech to all them, and it's never going to be part of my town plans. But I could have just taken the Stronghold tile, open Stronghold, go into Dwelling go into Temple round 2. Skip the dig advance, so I need to generate a lot more spades this game though. Like it's such a different game plan. It's really hard for me to say how it goes out, but witches are very flexible on this map and are quite good. So I mean, it probably goes pretty well, but I paid a lot of points to play witches, so I don't know.
And so, I mean, network counts are so high, it might not have made that much of a difference.
Well, I agree. That is the other thing. Like
if witches end up at 15 with connection, they get 3 points out of it.
I do agree. That's the other problem here, actually. Like, just everybody's network was actually kind of more insane than I thought. I mean, I knew Alchemist would be pretty high, but halflings actually, like, you have a pretty impressive network game for halflings. Because as I said, like, usually when you commit so many workers to digging, you just don't have enough workers for everything else. But I mean, ending with only 3 temples left on your board is pretty crazy. Chaos ending with only 2 temples is absolutely crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, like for me to get down to only 2 temples left on my board at the end of the game is tough. I mean, I'm close to that, but I guess the real problem is that my landscape's a huge liability in that world too. Like, was I ever gonna have 2 temples down in order to drop the landscape too? Like maybe, but
not realistically.
Yeah, probably not. So. And to be fair, maybe like I will admit I don't play enough landscape games, and I maybe slightly overbid witches just because of their stupid landscape. Their landscape's such a liability in these sorts of games where you kind of want to be fighting network.
Yeah, for sure. Who do we keep losing? Sprockitz, is that you back?
Dropping.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's all good.
Deranged, I'm not actually sure I'm supposed to take Water Cult, which is why I continue to lane. Air 1 is also, just totally fine.
Yeah, and of course, if I had better down converted my resources, like, I've been down converting the odd coin, but if I just had down converted a worker, like, I could have 5 power priested and also had a worker left to build a dwelling as opposed to an either or, but it's been kind of frustrating me declining these last 2 for ones.
Fair. We lost Lynn, it looks like, or whatever his name is.
Lynsforth? Alex, you still there? Oh.
I mean, we the reason we could tell is because he's sitting, like, he's not on BGA and the leech decision is on him. So
okay.
I mean, presumably he'll be back shortly, but yeah, he's clearly having some sort of.
Yeah, he just messaged me on Discord to say he's not sure what happened not sure what happened. Discord's acting up, but I don't know how that's.
Disconnecting. Then I just assumed.
Yeah, he just says he's gonna grab his phone. It says on his screen, it's still Ranior's turn on his screen, so he's just grabbing his phone to try to finish this up. That's very odd. But he's having, yeah. Cool. So I'm just gonna do this.
This was a fun game. It was fun to be able to talk through while we're playing. And very, very nice job. I mean, Chaos Magicians really exploded all over the map at the end.
Yeah, it is pretty, like, that part's absolutely insane. You're only getting 6 network sprockets? Yeah. Oh, but you have 4 points in Air 1. Okay, you still are going to beat me, but I am sneaking closer to you than I would have expected.
No, my end game scoring is pretty terrible.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's kind of always Halfling's thing, but.
Ranior, while I've got you on and we're just finishing up, do you have any interesting streaming plans coming up over the next coming weeks? A Teammate Tuesday.
I'm gonna be more. So say I'm more on your stream than I'm on my own stream lately. Yeah, like really, real life has just kind of resumed over here in the U.S. and it's just a little bit like I just don't super feel like streaming as much for whatever reasons. So I don't know. Oddly enough, I do have an all-player commentary starting in about an hour. So you TM junkies, you just
Are you
wait.
serious? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah, we're playing Friday night this week. So yeah, you TM junkies, tune into that. You just got a brief intermission, and then CS returns this week too. So it'll be extra spicy. Yeah, you're not gonna want to miss that nonsense. But otherwise, yeah, I don't really have plans. And then Wednesday is my F2O game.
Yeah.
I theoretically would like to actually get back to my. I tried to start actually committing to weekly, Teammate Thursday plans, and then we've all seen how committed to that I've actually been. Given that they just haven't been happening, so
right.
Yeah. But yeah, broadly, I think you should expect a bit less streaming from me. It's just there's enough other things in life.
Right. And you haven't been feeling lakes, it seems like. So I've seen a couple of streams that you did through the second account.
My alt. Yeah, I had a little.
Sorry, I almost stopped myself saying that, but then I realized, wait a second, you've literally been streaming on that account, obviously.
I've been streaming it. Yeah, it's known well enough around here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I still don't really like lakes. And I don't really like landscapes, so there's that. Next arena season is what? We're going back to base no landscapes?
No landscapes? Wow.
I think that's what's next. I can't remember, but I think that's correct.
Yeah.
I still actually really like that format, so I might stream a little more. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, what I'm actually going to, like, both Great Western Trail, I think this is more or less public now, both Great Western Trail and Agricola are in alpha testing on BJ. So once those games actually become public, I'm likely to play those a decent bit. Especially in the early days, I would love to grind my way up to some high rankings when it's relatively easier to do so.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. I've really wanted to play Agricola. I have been admittedly intimidated by the user interface.
I mean, play Agricola is horrible, yeah.
I'm looking forward to.
Oh, did I tie this? Did I tie Sprockets, or did I flat out beat him here? Tied. That's unexpected.
Hey, I'm back.
You're back. Awesome. Everyone's here for the final finale, the final scores.
I do kind of wonder if going the town route might have been better, but we'll see.
I approve of you taking network away from Sprockets, allowing me to tie for second.
Yeah, that's wow.
The town round would have made it closer or helped me out a lot.
Yeah, that's true. He would have been a lot closer to. Oh, except well, that's interesting. Like Weber also gets 3 more points of network, but you would have 6. Yeah.
The town route, he's also not throwing priests to the cults at the end to take 3 points away from me.
That's right. He took a bunch of cult points away from you right at the
Right.
end, though. Yeah, he did choose a lot.
I mean, I'm not making up 14. I'm making up 5 or 6. It's, I mean,
Actually,
yeah.
Like
Where-
I was
where-
thinking about it, and if I would have went F1 after F2 and like, you know, sneakily tried to dig E1 away from Weber, I could have won network entirely. I don't know if you would have noticed me going for that, but I had like plenty of dwellings, and I had the extra workers to potentially do that, and I maybe should have done it to attempt to get a couple extra points on network.
Just looking at some of the quick breakdowns here, Weber only took 2 single dig spade actions this whole game and still won network. Like, what an insane chaos game. You got enough cult spades, pass spades, and I guess hard digs.
I guess.
Alchemist used, or is that Alchemist? No, Sprockets. Yeah, went no spades actions this game. I missed that. Or like no spade power actions. You just shipped to hexes.
I shipped my way to hexes and then upgraded.
And there was the pass spade. I mean, the pass spade helped all of us, but yeah, like wow, the spade power actions this game were very not used. But
I wasn't planning on doing as many hard digs in the dig round. I didn't assume that was going to be what happened, but just the way that the cult rewards came in for me. I was able to do 2 hard digs in the center to carve out that town, and then the sort of hard dig on D1 blunder. So it was 3 hard digs, 2 action 5s, and then I didn't actually use the bonus. Oh, I used the bonus spade at the beginning of the game, right? But then I didn't actually use it at the end for myself. It was just cult spades, but yeah, and then the coins seemed to be pretty evenly dispersed. Sprockets and I each had 2 goes at the coins. You guys each had a coins action. But yeah, the 2 spade action was only used twice this game. That's
yeah, that was a really interesting one.
Yeah, that's pretty strange.
There weren't cult spades either until the very end.
Yeah,
that's right. But I guess that's that kind of stuff can happen if you're playing 2 digging factions that are both trying to do early shipping in order to build up their worker economy. Neither of you guys really used that many early spades.
Well, then I chose to play witches as a shipping / digging or dig advanced faction as well. So
yeah, for sure. Cool. This was a lot of fun, guys. Sorry, go ahead.
It left. I mean, the spade actions weren't. There was no competition for them, but Chaos Magicians were the only ones who needed them, and they didn't even need them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what's so crazy.
They didn't even take the double spade.
Yeah, I was so excited to get double spade in round 1, but just nobody. I mean, no, it was really interesting. So I mean, that is where it does make me wonder though. Like, if maybe I should have read the fact that with Alchemist and Halflings in the game, the spade actions were always going to be actually very easy to get to. So maybe digging witches was a little silly on that front. I would have been able to get enough digs out anyhow this game to probably make the towns, but whatever. I can't be that sad. My game was still pretty on track.
It would have been curious if you had taken the hex in the first round instead of the blue hex and just cutting across there. You get 1 less dwelling in the first round, but you secure your connection right away and make life on witches difficult, or not witches, on Chaos Magicians.
Yeah, that is an interesting thought. I could have done that, and then I could have even just built a trading post in round 1 or something too, done the mini dwelling rush type thing, set up a slightly more balanced economy type thing. But yeah, As usual,
always
plenty of wrinkles.
Always lots of different ways the game could have gone. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
There's
totally.
always some really intriguing wrinkles, and sometimes you just have a good player, and the game breaks. Where everything they want comes their way, and that's a little bit of what happened here for Weber. So.
Yeah, well, it's always nice
Yep.
to win games on my
Thanks
own
for
stream
having
every
us,
once in a
Weber.
while. Yeah,
It
Sprockets,
was a fun
a
first
pleasure to
game
have
on
you.
Fjords.
Yeah, awesome. I totally forgot, Alex. This is your first game on Fjords. That is hilarious.
Yeah. You got to keep playing. Fjords is my favorite. So I will say one of the things chat did kind of point out part of why we all had such good networks and even just kind of good games is there's so much leech and there's so many neighbors on Fjords. So I don't know. I really love the map for just a lot of those reasons, but
yeah.
And I love the map actually because I do think it makes fighting for town space and connection very interesting. These two main islands really force a lot of tight spots still though too. So
yeah,
sure. You all kind of get squeezed in certain places. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's great. Any questions in chat? I'm going to turn it back over to the guys real quick just to see if they have any final comments. But in the meantime, if you have any final questions to any of them in chat, feel free to post in there. Go ahead.
I'll briefly loop back to the way earlier. Somebody was asking about the Great Western Trail and Agricola I mentioned. Great Western Trail it probably won't be published and available for another month, maybe two. I don't think Agricola is actually likely to get slated for being available for probably till honestly September. So I wouldn't get too excited, everybody, just for the record. But they are coming. But we're talking in the time frame of months, not weeks.
Right. Awesome. Any final comments from you, Sprockets, or from you, Lins?
No, I might want to play a little bit more Fjords because I enjoyed playing on this map, and it's interesting to look at the ways that things play out in the end game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I was sort of a late player to. Well, I only played Fjords once it came to BGA, which I don't actually remember when that was, but I've probably played 30 games at this point, but it immediately, it grew on me really fast. It's just very fastly became probably my favorite map of Terra Mystica. It's so much fun.
It's pretty easy to tell how many different routes each faction can take as well, because their other routes can get closed off really easily. So it's kind of cool to picture the other ways the game could have went just because of one hex going to a different player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. Yeah, cool. Well, look, guys, thanks so much. It was a pleasure to have you all on stream today. I really appreciate you guys coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome, and thanks everyone in chat. We'll probably be doing another all-player commentary next weekend. I haven't actually figured out the exact date yet, just because of the Fire 2 Open that's going to be happening. So I'm just going to be careful to schedule around that. But it looks like I've got Jekyll, Deep Finesse, and Mellison, I believe is how you pronounce his username, lined up for the next stream. So just stay tuned for more details on that. And once again, thanks for everyone in chat for hanging out, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.